afternoon down here in the South. It's even more beautiful now that you've tuned into Better with Becky and Sammy, where things are just a little bit better for episode 3. Hey, I'm Becky. I'm studying Dietetics at the University of Georgia, and I have a huge sweet tooth.
Hey everyone, I'm your co-host and second half to Better with Becky and Sammy. My name is Sammy, and I'm a PhD candidate at the University of Nebraska in Lincoln, and my research focuses around genetics, and I definitely have a sweet tooth. But small disclaimer for today's podcast. Today's podcast is made for entertainment and education purposes only. If you do have a question about your personal health, please contact a registered or certified professional. Alrighty.
Thank you, Sammy, for that. And today is such an exciting episode because we have our very own first guest speaker. She is here all the way from the Golden State. Her focus is oral surgery and implants. She does her fine work down in Mills, California in a group practice, 32 years and counting. She's been all about those pretty pearly whites, an Emory graduate, also known as a Georgia native. Let's welcome Dr. Diana Kim, DDS. Woo!
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for inviting me. I'm super excited because I'm the first guest on your podcast. And I guess being a dentist, I could say something. I can share my knowledge about the sweet tooth as well.
Thank you so much for coming on our podcast. And we can't wait to hear your insights on how our dental health actually helps us overall with our everyday health.
Absolutely.
So it's been a little while since we've talked on this podcast. Rebecca, how has your week been since I talked to you last?
Yeah, so it's been super good. I finally hit a milestone in my life. After 22 years, I finally made all A's in school. I haven't even made all A's in kindergarten, so it's been super cool. And that just tells you that I love my major. And something really awesome has happened to my sister Sammy, since she's the brains of this podcast. Can you tell us a little bit more about what happened?
Yeah, so I'm actually really excited because the peer-reviewed publication that I was one of the authors on finally was accepted, and we got our pre-proof today. So if you want to learn more about Aspergillus cell wall stress, please go check out the new issue of Molecular and Cellular Proteomics. So Dr. Diana Kim, how has your week been?
Oh, it's been pretty busy since the COVID-19 pandemic happened. I've been staying home and catching up on I'm doing a whole bunch of online training, which is available. So I might be staying home, but I'm always working.
Oh, yes, and I believe that because we have such great platforms like what we're currently on right now, that education can continue even if you are or not in your office or if you are or not in your lab. So, which, is great because before this probably wouldn't be able to happen. But let's go ahead and figure out just a little bit more about our guest today. So Dr. Diana Kim, why don't you tell us a little bit about your medical and dentistry journey and how you were able to choose dentistry as your career?
Like Becca said in the beginning, I've been practicing dentistry for 32 years. That's a pretty long time. First 25 years, I focused on a general and cosmetic dentistry. But after 9/11 happened, it kind of directed me to wanting to serve the country. So I joined the Navy and joined the Navy Dental Corps. I practiced there for 5 years. And while I was there, I was picked up for postgraduate training to do oral surgery. So now for past 7 years, my focus has been on oral surgery and dental implants.
That is super cool. And shout out to all the people who have served and all of our essential workers. You guys rock. And so the topic of this podcast is called Who's Got a Sweet Tooth? And now that I found out that we all indulge in some sweet treats here and there, Auntie, I have a couple of questions for you since this is a lifestyle/health podcast, and you are the expert at teeth health. So, is it okay to have sweet stuff here
one, guilty of sweets like the cakes. My favorite is a velvet white chocolate cake, as well as chocolate covered ice creams and other chocolates that you could name of. But I would like to tell you that no matter what you eat, you can have a very healthy teeth. It's all about three aspects of what you can control. And these facts are that you have a host who love to brush, who love to maintain their mouth. You have to have a bug, enough bug to cause cavities. This bug is called Actinum myceticomaton. It's a pretty mouth word, long bugs.
Oh, yes.
And the environment that it creates. So you got food, you got bug, and you got a person. If a person has immaculate oral hygiene, who brushes daily and maintain their oral health, that's great. But if you have a person who doesn't like to brush, maybe brush not at all or once a day, and not floss, and not remove those bugs creating environment. Also, if you love the choices of your food, which is, if you don't make the healthy choices, it's going to cause some damage to your teeth. So all these three factors are very, very important to cause cavities or not cavities. So you have to choose wisely.
And that kind of goes into my question that I wanted to ask is, are there any simple tricks that we can learn to help our teeth stay healthy?
Oh, yes, definitely. It's the choice of your food. Since this is a nutritional aspect, you have to make the right choices. You have to make sure that you choose a non-sticky, sugars food. Even the Monsters sport drinks or even juices, if they're acidic, part of your teeth that is most hardest is the enamel. Mm-hmm. It's gonna get eroded away in an acidic environment. So in order to avoid having erosion to your teeth, you have to use fluoridated toothpaste. So I encourage to do, if you love to drink juice or soda or eat sweet candies, just make sure you brush your teeth and you floss and maintain it that way.
Awesome. Thank you for those tips. Rebecca, I know you definitely have a question about acidity.
So if you haven't listened to our previous podcast, it's about fitness influencers and how they're not all cut from the same spandex material. It relates how the fitness community and how our everyday life, especially our teeth, correlate. So, Auntie, I've seen a lot of fitness influencers. They promote waking up in the morning, having a hot cup of water with a squeeze of lemon. They claim that it boosts your immunity and helps boost your digestion. So, I have a question for you. Is having the lemon water, is it beneficial or detrimental to our teeth?
Well, it depends on the frequency and how much amount. And if you do, I'm sure you would boost the immune system. But also you have to think about the environment it creates in the oral, in the mouth. So I would suggest that if you are going to drink a lot of lemon juice or acidic food, just make sure you rinse it out with plenty of water afterwards. And also use a fluoridated toothpaste. Enamel part is, if it gets bombarded by acidic food, it's going to get eroded away. So using fluoridated toothpaste will remineralize that. And there's always gels and rinses and you can add it to. Or you can talk to your dentist if you're very concerned about getting more fluoridated containing toothpaste as well.
Well, that kind of leads me to a question, Dr. Diana, that we're talking about our environment of our teeth and the acidity of it. So are you pro or are you against adding pro or prebiotics? So probiotic is a live culture. A prebiotic is something that helps the probiotic grow and colonate into toothpaste. So to kind of set the platform for this question a little bit better, let's talk about the microbiome or our microfilm inside of our own teeth. So first you have your surface of your enamel, and the only thing that can bind to this is the genus Streptococcus, which is a gram-positive bacteria. Once it binds to the teeth, it produces a polysaccharide kind of like environment. And all that is a fancy term for lots of sugars. And then you can have another gram-positive bacteria, let's say lactobacillus. So lactate, it's acid. So now you have this bacteria creating acid onto the enamel. But if you were to add something into your toothpaste, saying a probiotic or a prebiotic, so that the lactobacillus could no longer bind, would that be beneficial to maybe the future of healthcare and toothpaste? Or is this something that really won't help at the end of the day?
Well, I believe we can strive to change the toothpaste or other things, but most importantly is that if you got a gunk in your mouth, no matter what type of stuff that you use, it's not going to help. So basically, mechanically removing the gunks in your mouth, like the sweet, sugary, sticky candies or anything that you left behind, it needs to be physically, mechanically removed by using toothbrush and floss. And the more sweet you eat, the more often you should brush. And don't forget to floss at the end of the day, because toothpaste will help, but it's always it's left it up to how well you remove your, I would say, the material that's stuck on your teeth. So make sure you brush as often as you eat, but normally it's twice a day. And then floss at the end of the day, so you can mechanically remove anything you ate that there will be not left in there to cause acidic environment for bugs to grow, to cause tooth decay.
Well, that's awesome that we actually have this platform to ask questions like this, because coming from a microbiology platform, I would have never thought mechanical, just get rid of the whole entire environment to begin with. So thank you for coming on and shedding light on something that's definitely, we are not professionals, our host today. And it's interesting that you say flossing as well, because doesn't just the brush miss up to 38 to 40% of all surface areas of the tooth? So flossing is very important. Am I correct?
Yes, toothbrush can go fit between your teeth. How can you fit your toothbrush in between your teeth? So floss will do the trick. So make sure you floss if you don't want to go see your dentist too often.
Yes, that sounds wonderful. And Rebecca, how about you go ahead and ask our final question of this segment to our guest today?
So, since this is a health and lifestyle podcast, and I want to know every aspect of your life, Auntie, how do you do it all? You're a dentist, you're a mother, and still have some social life. So, how do you do it? Do you batch prep, where you make a whole bunch of food in the beginning of the week and then eat it throughout the week? Or do you Postmate? Can you tell me some of the things you do just to maintain your awesome life?
Well, by all means, I'm very grateful that you say I'm awesome, but I'm trying to maintain my life. But yes, I try to eat as best as I could, but I do, order out too, or go out to eat once or twice a week, because I don't have time to cook all the time. But mostly on the weekends, I like to cook up a batch and try to focus toward healthy food that is non-processed. So mostly the rainbow colored vegetables and some protein mixed with beef, chicken, and fish. Those are my choices. And try to stay away from, I'm Korean, so I love, carbohydrate and rice. But I try to avoid that altogether to stay healthy and try to exercise 3-4 times a week is my goal. But I always, sometimes I let myself down. But it's constantly trying. I'm trying to be as good as I can. And my wonderful husband, Brian, always helps me to help me going. And he helps him with cooking as well too. He's really into healthy cooking, so I'm grateful for that. And since I'm an empty nester, I don't have to really worry about my, little ones running around. So I do have some time to really enjoy my life and pursue my goals in life as well.
Well, it's so great, and it sounds like you live a very balanced lifestyle because it's not just about nutrition or just about working out. It's kind of like how happy you are in your lifestyle. But that being said, we want to add a brand new segment here on our podcast with you being our first guest. So, Rebecca, why don't you go ahead and ask this question, which we're going to ask all of our future guests.
So, Auntie, or Dr. Diana Kim, I would love to know, what are your future goals and aspirations in order to achieve the best version of yourself?
Oh, that's a humbling question. I'm an avid learner, so I'm always chasing what would be next. I would always, as a practitioner, I always look toward what can I better educate myself so that I can take good care of my patients, and how to keep them best. So for now, mainly I've been focusing on dental implants and how to make it so that it will last for a lifetime. To focus on how can I place them, because you can always do surgery one after another, but it has to last and it has to look good. Being a career dentist and focus on aesthetics. So that's my focus, to how to make it look good and make it last. So also, focus on staying healthy. And as for that, I'd like to make a comment about COVID-19 that is going on. In the past, with the viruses and any type of infectious diseases, we do have a vaccine and medication that's available out there. But now, with the COVID-19 virus, we don't have that yet. We don't have the vaccine. We don't have the medications. So I really cautious everybody, since this is not bloodborne, it's person to person airborne. So if you are standing right next to the person that is talking to you, and if it's close than 6 feet, I think if you inhale that person's breath or droplets or aerosolized particles from their lungs, you're going to ingest that. So make sure that you keep your distance. Make sure you wear your mask. Make sure wherever you go, when you go back home, wash your hands, and wash your hands. That's all I wanted to say. And stay safe, everybody.
Yes, absolutely. Do please stay safe. And if you have any more questions about how to properly handle yourself, please go ahead and visit the CDC guidelines that we have listed down below on Becky R. Fit's YouTube channel.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Diana Kim. And if you want to learn a little bit more about her or get in touch with her, her link will be also located down in the description box. So today, we talked to our very own Dr. Diana Kim, all the way from the Golden State about teeth health. We covered, is it okay to eat sweet stuff here and there? If the trendy living water in the morning, is it beneficial or detrimental to our teeth? And if pre/probiotics is a new feature of the toothpaste, and how she just does it all. Thank you so much, Dr. Diana Kim, for letting us pick out your teeth with Better and Becky and Sammy, where things are just a little bit better.
Thank you.
You can view our podcast. Thank you. And you can view our podcast in all the description links down below, and my YouTube channel, Becky R. Fit. And please consider subscribing.
All right. Bye, guys.